_millennial.cos.ph with an interview for the Cosplay Inquirer, and our guest today is the one and only Sukai Todd. That is her username, actually. There she is. There she's arrived. And she said that there was a secret wig. So I am so excited about this wig. I can't wait to see it. Okay, there she is. Let's go and just sent it. It should. Hello, beautiful. Hi. Oh my. Am I seeing the secret wig?
This is the surprise wig I had.
I love it. That's amazing. I can see little ponytail ribbons on the back. That's beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome to my bedroom and the Cosplay Inquirer.
Thank you. Welcome to my bedroom.
Thank you. I am so excited to interview you and meet you and learn more about you. You are quite a fascinating, amazing person.
Thank you.
Who is the one and only Sukai Todd? What would you like the cosplay community to know about you?
Well, I would say it's in my always how everyone says link in bio, but it is in my bio on Instagram. I'm a self-partnered musician, filmmaker, and all-around creative person.
Wow, I noticed that filmmaker, but we've talked a little bit about screenwriter. So within filmmaking, what are your areas of expertise? Screenwriting and on other things?
I would say screenwriting and right now being a casting director.
Okay, you're casting. Okay, send us the info, and maybe I can publish it on the Cosplay Inquirer and send people your way. I hope you find who you're looking for.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm like very like perfectionistic in my head, so it's like I see it in my head and then putting it together in reality, it's like, how do I do this?
so you're preparing a film with an original screenplay,
Yes.
and how many actors do you need?
I would say three, four
Three?
if you count myself, but
Okay.
three
I
if
mean,
you see my fingers.
they have to be, you're in California, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what city should they be in?
Either Sacramento or Stockton or
Okay.
Roseville. They're all mainly NorCal, Northern California, but if they can drive.
Yeah, you never know. People will drive to something like this. I mean, if it's going to be a day trip, and yeah, and you're going to need to direct them and probably do a stage reading.
Yeah.
That can be done on Zoom now. You can do stage readings on Zoom. So I think you're going to have a grand time casting it and making it happen. Can't wait to see what the project is.
It's
So,
very twisted, but very fun.
I mean, would have would you share a little bit of the plot if possible, or title, or
I'll share the title.
okay, what's the title on it?
It was originally going to be called Gray Area 1920 because I wrote it in 2019 and I thought 1920 it's going to be 2020. Like I thought it was like ahead of my time, quote unquote. But then 2020 happened and I'm like, you know what? Maybe Gray Area 1921 might be better. To not scare people with the pandemic and everything. And it's kind of a psychological horror slash musical type, and it's a very small production, but it's meant to be like if you've seen the movie The Prestige, kind of in tribute to that, or even the new Corella movie, kind of along those lines.
Wow, it sounds like a fascinating project. I already want to see it. No doubt that you're going to find people who would want to collaborate with you in it. So yeah, let's just publish who you're looking for, and hopefully in your immediate neighborhood, in your area, they can find their way to you. Now that we're all vaccinated, it might be possible to
Yeah,
direct a small. How long do you think it would be? Like half an hour, 10 minutes? Um,
I'd say 10 minutes, but that's just because it's a small. I'm not Disney yet, so don't
well,
have Disney budget yet, so
I've seen some short films that were 10 minutes and they didn't need to be any longer. They were exactly, and they were more
yeah.
powerful even because they were little, they were short. So you never know. So tell us about your cosplay journey. How did it all start?
It started. This is gonna sound like insane to some people, but for me, it's kind of like part of my memory. But it actually started all the way back in 2008. Apparently, 2008 is considered old now. I don't know. But it started in 2008 when I discovered this anime, and this was before Sailor Moon Crystal came out, but Sailor Moon, and I watched it on YouTube in parts back before Hulu and all those other,
As
websites were there.
we had to wait and hope to catch it at the right time.
Yes, yes, I know the feels. So I was like, I saw it and I just immediately connected with her character. She was an empath or crybaby. She was so human, and she had boyfriend problems. And at the time, I was very like hopeless romantic. So I was like, it's
Mhm.
just so relatable to me, and I just felt like I feel her character. So Sailor Moon was my first cosplay, and I did her in Super Sailor Moon with a white wig because I connected more to Neo Queen Serenity. And fun fact, Sailor Moon was actually white haired in the manga for like three of the first manga runnings, is that how you say it? So I just went for it.
I heard that rumor so it is true. There was white here originally. I guess maybe they made it yellow for animation,
Yeah,
thinking that I don't know, maybe blonde dolls sell better or sold better in the 90s. I don't know.
I don't know.
So Sailor Moon and Starlights and yeah, I mean I remember in 2008 having to scout for your anime. You couldn't exactly have it ready bingeable on
Yeah,
Netflix. We're so bad now.
I
But
know. It's so
so
easy now. It's like, what do I do with my time? Because it's like, do I make music or do I binge watch this anime for 8 hours? Which do I do? Or do I binge watch it and record the song?
I will be the one judging that because I'm the worst. I just finished the Dragon Prince in like one sitting. 3 seasons.
Respect, respect.
I see you. I see a kindred soul. I love your makeup. I love that you've done this silver rim with little itty bitty jewels on the sides.
Thank you. I did it myself. I always start with like a white foundation around, not foundation, but like a white eyeliner, because I feel like it brings out my eye color more.
And
And then
it's
silver and blue with white as the like base, if that makes sense.
that's brilliant. And I love the combination with the dark wing and the dark wig and the silver powder.
Oh,
The with the white makes it helps it stick probably. So that's beautiful.
thank
Um,
you.
you're a musician. I mean, we talked about your filmmaking just now and about makeup and about the artwork and the cosplay, but the music is quite a great part of you. It's so beautiful what I've seen you create. Um, how do you integrate your music into the other art forms that you pursue?
That's a brilliant question. Like, I love that question so much because I'm not just a cosplayer and musician, but I start college this like in August, so it's like here we go again. But blending like integrating all those different facets of my life into one kind of like one persona that can help others is it's a challenge, but it's one I take on with open arms because I want to show people that you can go to college or pursue whatever you want to pursue and still be creative. And the way I do it is scheduling. Like I scheduled like there was this meme for INFJ psychology, which is my personality type.
Me too. You want to see your questions?
I feel it. I feel it so much.
It's so bad. Oh,
And we like schedule our whole lives around like one scheduled thing, and it's like must schedule this, must be prepared 20 minutes before, 30 minutes before. For me it's like 3 hours, but that's I'm trying to get it down to 2 hours, but the filmmaker in me is like, no, we've got to be ready. We've got to be. But I schedule the living daylights. I'm trying not to curse because sometimes I curse in
Oh
my.
no, it's okay to fucking curse here. It's all right. I had it. It's cathartic.
Yes, yes.
um, no, it's quite okay. I assume that everyone watching this is at least 13, and if they are 13, they've been cursing for at least 4 years now. So
Yeah.
it's they're gonna turn out bad because we cursed here once, and their parents are gonna do that for them. So,
Well, I schedule everything and I always plan in advance. That's the way I integrate my private creative life because I try not to share things until they're done creatively with my public persona. Which I love the way you define persona and cosplay Inquirer. I'm like, I love this definition because it's been so warped in this era. I'm like, this is what a persona actually is compared to what people are like. The highlight reel and all that. No, a persona is a creative force and it's something that should be appreciated. And I love that, and I love you for like.
oh, thank you, dear. I was in my idea, but I am currently researching persona studies. And that thought came from Persona Studies and Introduction. A I will cite the book in the next Cosplay Inquirer introduction, issue number 2. And issue number 1, I mean, we talked about writing our own story. If we don't do it for ourselves, we don't exist, really. So the Cosplay Inquirer and this interview, too, is an attempt to write down who this evolving person is, who is Sukai, and the sum of so many Sukais.
There are a lot of them. Like when I looked at my Instagram page in January of this year, I was like, whoa, this is how many people I've cosplayed. And I had like 12 people, 12 characters planned for the first few months, and I'm like, oh god, it's just gonna keep growing because there were so many characters I had already planned, and some of them, like this character that I'm wearing, Miyaka Yuki, she was planned like 2009, 2010, like years back. So
It's a lifelong pursuit for you. That is quite novel. I haven't heard of another cosplayer thinking that even.
I started so young. I started at, I think when I was 10 or 11. So certain
Mhm.
cosplays I couldn't do because of my age, just
Oh,
because I was so young, and some of them were a little skimpy. Although I don't believe in ever
mhm.
over, but there is a certain age limit that I do agree with in terms of cosplaying, just because I don't want people to deal with the dark side of it. I'll leave that as it is, but you know.
Of course. And I mean, most people are situationally aware. You were. Even as a young person, you said, oh, let's wait on that one. And now you are not waiting on that one, and you don't need anyone's permission to either wait or take it.
Right, right.
You're the director. Um, that's speaking about the music. Which are your top 3 songs? I listened to the Cruella de Vil cover, and what was the other one? It was Heads. Got the name. Okay, I know for sure the Cruella de Vil. Oh, Heads Up was it? No. All right, so let's rewind. What are your top 3 songs where people should start in order to get a feel for your production?
I would say definitely the Cruella de Vil cover, just given how insanely popular Cruella is. I'm just like,
Mm.
skip that if you want to. And I would say um, Read Me or Game Changer, it, whatever title works for you. I love that song. It's like an upbeat tribute to Daft Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's actually, I just finally released it. I say just finally, but I just put it through my distribution service. I use DistroKid for any 100 because it's cheaper than CD baby. And I just released the, like, put it through the release, and it may take a week, it may take a few days, I don't know how long, but it's going to be, it's based off of the character I'm cosplaying now, so I'm really excited. And it's called Miyaka, so I'm really
That's
excited.
beautiful. Well, cosplay and public online personas are a combination. It's a personal archive that is always changing. So
Yeah.
you playing this character right now, it's really a throwback to 2009, but there's also a song that's just gonna release with it. So I already see the connection between the artwork. It's kind of like Swiss cheese. You can
Yeah.
see through it.
Yeah.
I plan through the cheese.
Yes.
Oh,
I
that's
love that because I'm a foodie, so I love that analogy or
oh,
metaphor.
we'll keep making but let's not enable us now. We're gonna start thinking about. So, what makes you so happy about songwriting?
That is a great question. I'd say just the beauty of releasing emotion, like whatever emotion it may be, whether it's happy, sad, in between. It's really hot in my room, so excuse the tears. I'm not crying or anything. It's just like the heat in Stockton is insane. But on the topic, um, yeah, I have my biggest fan like right over there. I don't know if you can see like my biggest fan is
It's you to me. Okay,
but
so
yeah, sorry.
oh,
Um, I think it's just being able to share and release emotions, and the hope is always someone else may have felt this or maybe feeling this or can relate. Maybe it can help either inspire them or just show them, hey, you're not alone. I feel your pain or I feel your happiness or whatever the emotion or expression of emotion is. It's like you're not insane. You're totally valid in whatever it is you're feeling. And the song that I'm releasing now is much more like humorous and I would say tongue in cheek kind of, but also in a I guess Sukai's odd way. Like I'm making fun of both my character and some of the themes of the anime, so it's kind of a fun. It's a lot lighter than say "Not in the Stars," which is like one of my heaviest songs, but
yeah,
also one of my. It's
that was
got a great beat.
oh, oh. And the artist and the writer and the filmmaker separate creatures, but you're actually practicing something ancient that was not divided before. It's what you're doing is very shamanic, and you are transmuting emotion into a cultural object, a piece of art that is interrelated, and that hopefully brings comfort to another person. So you're in a way healing uh, through art, and you're throwing the uh, you're throwing the hook, and hopefully somebody catches it, and most likely you will, because I did, and people who listen to your music clearly did. But the multidisciplinary person that you are was a revered individual in antiquity. You would have had high social status, probably in the priestly class. There would have been a community of people like yourself. So, this separation of the art forms is a new concept. You are reaching back to something older and being successful because of it. You don't see the difference. It's amazing.
I feel it, and I've always felt like because even when I was younger and I did demos and put them on YouTube and cosplay, I was like, I'm not I'm not trying to do anything new. I'm just doing what I feel drawn to do, like what my spirit calls me to do. You know?
No, no. And think of the Inuit. When you see them dancing dressed like the salmon god, you don't think that's cosplay. But, uh, and they're doing music, they're doing dance, and they're doing a religion. I mean, today we don't pray to saints. We go to the movies and watch the Avengers, and those are the people with the great superpowers.
Right, right.
But we are looking for, you know, communication that and I have actually access to. I'm very gifted. It's
You?
can rock with the vibe.
Thank you so much. You're so kind. I've always felt like And even in my songs, sometimes I joke that I'm a goddess just in a different time frame. Not like
You are.
thank you. I just like to kind of show people that it does, because I've always felt like I don't belong in the era we're in, even if I relate to the superheroes and sometimes anti-heroes or anti-heroines. Like when I see certain characters, I'm like, that's when I should have been born. It's like that
Me,
weird disconnect. You know.
and and so um so I can relate to like giving you a window into who you might want to be. It's an exercise in self-discovery.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think you have experienced it plenty. So what are some of the themes that you explore in your songs?
A lot is. I love that you said self-discovery because I feel like that's a big theme within all of it. Like that is a beautiful, beautiful question. I'd say self-discovery, healing from whatever, because life happens to everyone.
Mhm.
Not always a breakup or a sad day. Like, fun fact: the song "Not in the Stars" was originally about a class I was struggling in.
Oh, really?
Like, I can't do this. I'm struggling. It's not meant to be. Like, I had this like Shakespearean feeling, and I was like, let me just make this a song. So, like, it sounds like it's about a breakup, but it might not always be about a breakup. and, a lot of my songs could be interpreted that way, but not all of them have that type of, like, emotional meaning. But I would say about exploring yourself or self discovery, accepting and releasing heavier emotions. Because my first album, Heartbreak Syndrome, is heavy.
Mm.
Like it's one of those like it's like if you've seen the movie Les Mis, it's like that's like my Les Mis. We all have that one creative thing where we're like, I can't even listen to some of them songs. They're too much. But it's about healing, self discovery, and of course, hopefully inspiring others who watched or listened to be like, hey, I'm not alone, or I'm not crazy for feeling like I feel, or I'm not the only one who had such and such experience happen to me, and I can grow from it, and I can do what I believe I'm called to do, you know?
Moving people to action and to self-discovery and emotional release through artwork is probably one of the best psychological functions of art in general. I um I mean, you're reaching out for you're reaching out for something that is universally appealing. It's the I I I was able to relate to the songs immediately, and I think anybody could.
True. It
So, oh,
humor new one because there's a lot of like tongue-in-cheek humor and
oh,
I'm of a 2000 song, so I'm kind of like full circle nerd because I love the 2000s and 90s pop music. So I was like, must make fun of this great song because it's too great not to. I felt like Weird Al a little bit.
there's Green Day to go around in those 2 decades. So, I think. So tell us about. You already told us a little bit about your creative process. You write it down and you pursue it, even years in the future, but you get it done. What else happens in the creative process? Let's say that you have all the ingredients and you're getting ready for cosplay today. How did that go?
I, well, the first things first, I painted my nails because it was time.
Oh, oh, I love it. Oh, very. Oh, yes. I'll show you my.
Oh, that's really cute. I love it. I love it.
Ariel because Ariel is like this month's diva. Okay, so
and then I'll do my makeup and leave the lipstick for last because I feel like with the cosplays that I put on, it's like gotta save the lips for last. But I'll do the makeup, and I do have an actual beauty mark, but I add usually a little like rhinestone or glitter, and then I use a little bit of eyeliner to make the beauty mark stand out more because it was something I was kind of bullied for growing up, and so as I got older, I was like, this is something I was physically born with. Why not?
yeah, I love how you not only you're embracing it, you're blinging it. Like it's beautiful. It actually reminds me of the 18th century a little bit, of Rococo, because you look at the white background and the jewels and the soft tones. Yeah. Oh, and you're took his from Rococo, didn't you?
Yes, and I love like learning about like not just modern or anime, like modern anime or classic anime as they call it now. It's always been classic, but like I love seeing like ancient art, like from classical periods, not just in like British times, but like because I have a lot of European roots, but like ancient Chinese, ancient Greek, ancient, you know, Japanese art, just seeing the way they do and the makeup styles they use, like it's just so fascinating. And seeing how it interconnects with what's being used today, because I feel like there's a deep connection, in my belief.
I really hope that you have time in school after the pandemic to take a class in world literature or art history, something that gives you like a survey of the world, the point of view of an art form, or even musicology. That could be interesting because tones in Asian music are different. But I really hope that you can. Have you been able to take any of these world art classes?
I took art history a few years back before I moved to California. I did on it. I gotta be, but it was I was like I gotta be. I should have gotten it, but great class because I learned about like the mother statue of the little that ancient statue. Like that is so interesting. And some people were it as a goddess. Some people were like, that's just a statue of a lady. And I'm like, that could be so many different things to so many different people. And we did a little of the like ink blot interpretations of like, what does this mean to you versus what does it mean to other. And I loved the class. It was so amazing.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I think maybe you're talking about the Venus of Willendorf.
Yes, yes.
The statues, they're about this big. Um, Most recent research on that is that they were self-portraits by women. Yeah,
Oh,
that's. I read that one recently. I was so excited to see that paper. I was like, oh, this is way better than the other explanations.
yes. And it goes into body positivity too.
If they were making self-portraits, that's so beautiful. I hope that is the right archaeological interpretation. I hope we stick with that one. Self-portrait, way better. That means the guys were doing the cave paintings with the hands and the big bicep, and maybe the girls were doing little tiny sculptures. Don't know. Let them explore it. We'll enjoy it. So, what's your favorite cosplay and why?
I'd say I feel like she's becoming like on the level of Wonder Woman in some ways. Not yet, but she's getting there. Sailor Moon because of what she presents.
Yes.
You know, the female empowerment and the loving oneself and forgiving others, and also this like anyone can cosplay Sailor Moon. It doesn't matter, and anyone can be any version of her they want to be, whether it's Serenity or Neo Queen Serenity or
Anybody in a Sailor Moon outfit. I think that's universal. Adding one just to see if that works.
Yes. And I'd say my favorite version that I've cosplayed is either my first Super Sailor Moon, which is way back when, or my most recent musical version, which is based off of the Shining Tokyo Cafe musicals.
Oh, I've
And
seen
this glitter.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love the how you integrate so much intellect into your art process too. That comes through. It wasn't one of the mentioned things, but it is a very intellectual process, very INFJ. I mean, I'm one too, so I'm pretty biased. We're the best. Everyone else sucks. But
Feel it.
we're the most organized, the most empathic, the best at parties, the best at running away. Yeah. So
I feel it so deeply. Like what you're saying, I can so relate to. Like I need to write a song. I have a demo for a song right now. I can't reveal the name, but in one of the lyrics, I'm like hashtag INFJ problems, and I'm like,
oh
I
god.
take this song now because I'm like, I'm not the only one. Because it's such a rare personality type, but when you meet another INFJ,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm not alone. It's like this amazing feeling.
I through cosplay though, I've already met you're third, four with me. So apparently we're hiding under wigs.
We like our wigs a certain way.
Yeah, don't want to be here. We're like work. I don't want to work. I want to do like photography.
I feel and like I love college, but at the same time, there are days where especially this past semester, spring, I was like, I'd rather just be at a convention right now. Nothing against my professors, but there are days where I was like, I just want to wake up and go to a convention and come home.
Craving conventions. I've seen people returning to it in places like Australia where they actually handled the panini.
Right.
United States looks like we're gonna have to wait for because we can't have nice things, you know. Uh,
I feel it, and I agree. I feel like, I mean, I'm fully vaccinated, and I support anyone who, and I'm not like judging those who either can't or can't do it right now, because that's a situational thing. But I really respect people who are fully vaccinated and who aren't afraid to say so, because it's like that's helping the problem rather than being like, nothing against people who are scared to vaccinate, but if they research it, I always recommend, like, even with my music, if I'm doing a topic that I feel is controversial, I'll be like, what are people saying about this? What are doctors saying about this? What are scientists saying? Okay, I'll do it. And if it's too controversial, I'll be like, you know what, I'll wait about 3 years and then maybe. Because I want to respect my audience.
we are talking about critical thinking is a developed skill that is not encouraged in the public. So even looking at different sources and making up your own opinion is confusing to people. They don't have different sources. They listen to like that one channel, talk to like the same three people at work, and like hang out with the same groups on Facebook. And well, we've all been guilty of the echo chamber, right?
I used to be that way.
Yeah.
But like I since being in college and I had a debate class last year and that really really taught me it's like if you're gonna like for me like if I want to do something that might be controversial or even just in my own opinion, I need to research what I'm doing so that even if I unintentionally offend people, I can say with confidence, I unintentionally did that. I did not try to do that.
I am sorry I offended you, but it was unintentional. I did try. Here's proof. So, thank you so much, Sky Sukai Todd, for joining me for the Cosplay Inquirer this evening. It's been a wonderful conversation, so inspiring. You are so inspiring, my dear. And your professors are very lucky to have you in their classroom. I'm sure you're one. I know you are.
I'm
um,
studying before classes even start. I'm just saying.
you have your paper for the final exam planned out from the second week before class starts. So
Yes.
I
Yep.
was that way. Yeah. All right, love. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I am going to hang up the live and save it up so that we have this document. It's been wonderful. Thank you, beautiful. Have a great evening. Bye. Bye.